The first race of the 2015 Formula One season is over. What were the surprises? And what wasn't a surprise? Starting with the surprises, only 15 cars started the Grand Prix, the fewest number of starters since the 1982 San Marino Grand Prix. Why? The drama began long before the race, with legal action between Guido van der Garde and the Sauber team, Maurizio Manna not running at all, and 3 cars actually failing to make it to the starting grid. One of the big surprises of the weekend was how well the rookies actually did during the race. Sauber's rookie driver, Felipe Nasser, took an incredible 5th place, finishing 12 seconds ahead of the home favourite Daniel Ricciardo. Marcus Ericsson was also 8th in the second Sauber. This is a huge result for Sauber, and absolutely not one that any of us would have predicted at the beginning of the weekend. They had their torrid time over Guido van der Garde, and then it didn't even look like they were maybe going to race. The final results proved that Sauber are the team to watch potentially for this season, and with the Ferrari engine, who knows, they could be in the points all the way through, which would be a fantastic result. Another huge surprise to everybody has to have been the fact that McLaren Honda, with Jenson Button at the wheel, actually managed to finish the Australian Grand Prix. Given their torrid time over testing, given Magnussen's car blowing up even before it reached the grid, it was a remarkable achievement. Another great surprise was the success of the Force India. There was little to expect after just 2.5 days of pre-season testing, but Nico Hülkenberg had a much cleaner race than teammate Sergio Perez and ended up 7th. Despite spinning to the back of the field after hitting Jenson Button, Perez managed to recover and ended up in 10th place. This is a great result for Force India and means that they go into Malaysia with some points both in constructors and for their drivers. One of the least covered events of this weekend was the launch of Formula One Management's YouTube channel. It's there. Put in Formula One and you will see archive videos, archive races, and behind the scenes. Nothing current, nothing from this weekend apart from behind the scenes, but it's up and it's running, and they have obviously acknowledged that social media is here. After a disappointing weekend for Red Bull Racing and also, to be fair, Scuderia Toro Rosso due to the Renault engines, it was not remotely surprising to have Christian Horner come out complaining that Mercedes had an unfair advantage. Christian has even gone so far as to call on the FIA to take action to equalise engine performance and close up the Formula One field. I don't really remember that being an issue when Red Bull Racing was so dominant for the last 4 years. I know he's trying to qualify it, but in response, Toto Wolff has come back with, I think you might want to just concentrate on improving, rather than asking for assistance from the regulator. If you were placing a bet, you would have had absolutely no chance of getting any odds on Mercedes winning this weekend's Grand Prix. As has been predicted since the start of testing, the Mercedes streaked to a 1-2 extremely dominant finish. Nobody is close to getting them. There was a 33-second gap to Vettel in 3rd place. Is anybody going to beat them? If they do, when will that be? But at the moment, not a surprise. Not particularly good for the racing ongoing. However, you can't take it away from Mercedes. Impressive car, impressive engine, impressive drivers. Congratulations on the win. Maurizio Manna didn't run at all during the weekend because the team's administrators had wiped all the software from their computers ready for sale. Did we really think that they were ever going to run? Old car, very little time. A cynic might have said they had no intention of ever running this weekend. However, they are very, very definitely saying that they did plan on running. They wouldn't have brought the whole team, they wouldn't have brought all of the kit, they wouldn't have flown the cars out. However, one does wonder, did they not know about the software being wiped from their computers? That surely must have been factored into their ability to race. Although I mentioned earlier on that it was a surprise to see Jenson Button in his McLaren Honda finish the race, it was equally deeply unsurprising to see how badly they performed. What was more surprising was Ron Dennis's honesty when questioned by Martin Brundle during the grid walk whether or not the Magnussen blow-up engine failure was an issue, to which Ron Dennis merely replied, "That is the least of our problems." What else is he referring to that hasn't been documented? I hope they get them fixed. Moving on, let's hope that in Malaysia in 2 weeks' time we have a full grid, all the drivers that we were expecting, and a great race.